Hey everyone, it's Sarah. This month I'm going to be talking about how to write better fiction, and today I'm specifically going to discuss how to write a great opening line for your novel. And I'm going to give you some examples. The first way to write a great opening line is to pull the reader in. You want to grab the reader's attention, you want to surprise the reader, make the reader laugh, give them something unexpected, use strong words that are going to trigger some kind of reaction in the reader. Let's look at the first line in The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The circus arrives without warning. It's literally arriving without warning. So you know that this circus is going to abruptly come into these people's lives and change it in some way. The second thing you can do to write a great opening line is to leave the reader wanting to know more. Now, one way that you can do this is look at the first line and then ask yourself, so what? If your first line was something like, I went for a walk today. Well, so what? Let's look at some examples to show you what I mean. The first line in The Giver by Lois Lowry. It was almost December and Jonas was beginning to be frightened. Okay, so you can ask yourself, so what? Why was he frightened? The reader wants to know. Why was he beginning to be frightened? This leaves the reader wanting to know what is going on in Jonas's world to make him feel this way. Let's look at My Name is Memory by Anne Brashares, a book I am currently reading. I have lived more than 1,000 years. Now, right away the reader is asking, how is that possible? Are you immortal? Are you a vampire? What's going on? That leaves them wanting to know more and wanting to keep reading. That's the goal for an opening line. You want to engage the reader right away. And a good way to do that is to leave them with questions. Another way to write a great opening line is to establish a unique voice. You want to let the reader know right away, this is the kind of character that they're reading about, and this is the kind of voice they can expect. Ideally, it's an engaging, unique, dynamic voice that will also grab their attention right away. Let's look at The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born, and what my lousy childhood was like, and how my parents were occupied, and all before they had me, and all that David Copperfield kind of crap, but I don't feel like going into it if you want to know the truth. Okay, now that's kind of a rambly first sentence, but it captures very well the voice of Holden Caulfield in this whole novel. Now, Catcher in the Rye is not for everyone, but the people that connect to this book are going to connect to that first sentence right away. It gives us something unique to latch onto right away. The fourth way to write a great opening line is to let the first sentence tell us about the story. Now, in all of these examples that I've shown you, the entirety of the story is kind of summed up in that first line if you go back and look once you've read the whole book. I think a good book really does give us an opening sentence that really boils down the premise of the book. And one great example of this is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. Now, that basically tells you what this story is going to be about. So, some things to keep in mind with opening lines. Pay attention to the books that you're reading. Do they have a good opening line? Does it grab your attention right away? If so, why does it grab your attention right away? Did it make you laugh? Did it have engaging words, unusual words? Did it establish a unique voice? These are some things that you want to think about. The most important thing, though, is that you grab the reader's attention right away. It's not a good idea to start a novel with a description of a doorknob or, the cliche, it was a dark and stormy night, talking about the weather. You want to start right in the middle of some action or some engaging piece of dialogue. Now, of course, there are examples of some great opening sentences that don't do any of these things, but these are just some general tips of things to think about when you are going back and deciding what your opening sentence is going to be. I would say don't worry about this as you're writing your first draft, because you might get hung up on, oh, this first sentence has to really be good, and then you might get stuck and not write anything. Just go ahead and write whatever comes to you, I think, when you're writing the first draft. But when you go back and revise, then you can pay attention to the first sentence and is it a good one? Does it grab the reader's attention? And that kind of thing. Alright, that's it for me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the writing tip videos. You can also subscribe to my mailing list, The Daily Writer, for daily writing inspiration. I'll leave a link to that down below. I'll also leave you some resources of different posts that I find to be helpful on this topic. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. What makes a great opening line to you? Next week, I'm going to be talking about how to write three-dimensional characters. So make sure you tune in for that. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.